Welcome to the Journal Editorial Report. I'm Stuart Varney in this week for Paul Gigot. Donald Trump, now the presumptive Republican nominee, after a big win in Indiana Tuesday, knocked both remaining rivals out of the presidential race. And Hillary Clinton? She may have lost to Bernie Sanders in the Hoosier state, but she's not wasting any time looking ahead to the general and attacking Donald Trump with the words of his fellow Republicans.
I am a unifier. We're going to be a unified party.
He is a con artist.
A phony.
Donald Trump is the know-nothing candidate.
Donald is a bully.
He's a race-baiting, xenophobic, religious bigot.
A narcissist at a level I don't think this country's ever seen.
Well, now that we're off and running, joining the panel this week, Wall Street Journal columnist and deputy editor Dan Henninger, columnists Mary Anastasia O'Grady and Jason Riley, and Mary Kissel, host of Opinion Journal on the Wall Street Journal Live. All right, Dan, start with you. Can Donald Trump win without the support of the establishment Republican Party?
I think it would be a long shot. I mean, let's start by saying if the election were being held next Tuesday, he would probably lose. Look, let's understand that in the primaries, only 19% of the available electorate has voted so far. Upwards of 80% of the people are still sitting out there trying to make up their mind. So he has a long time to make the sale. But 2 days after the nomination, having this division created between House Speaker Paul Ryan and himself suggests that the party is not unified no matter what he says. And that is going to create, at this point, confusion all through the party and in the states. I mean, surely he can run a campaign based entirely on his persona. But in Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, Wisconsin, he needs the party leadership to be able to get behind him, but they have to know what they are voting for, and at the moment, that's not clear.
His ace in the hole, Mary, is that if you don't vote for me, if you don't rally around me, you give the election to Hillary Clinton. That's a pretty strong card to be playing.
I think it's safe to say that Hillary is the unifier for the Republicans. There's no question about that. But I think that he's going to have an extremely difficult time bringing on board limited government, free trade Republicans. He's more like a Democrat in every way except that he doesn't have the nice manners. I mean, he believes in in protectionism. He wants to tax the rich. He is not a free market Republican, and that is what Republicans have spent the last 25 years trying to build, and Mexico is Exhibit A of that, and he wants to destroy it.
Jason.
I'm not so sure Donald Trump's goal is to unify the party so much as to remake the party. The traditional Republican coalition of defense hawks, free market, conservatives, and social conservatives. Donald Trump leans towards isolationism. He's pretty much anti-free trade, and he's still learning the language of social conservatism because he's only been one for a very short period of time. So I don't think that his goal is to go into this general election and try and assemble that traditional coalition. He thinks he can pick off traditional Democratic voters, particularly blue-collar whites, and in states like Pennsylvania and Ohio. So I'm not sure that his goal at this point really is unity.
All right, Mary, can a reformulated Republican Party led by Donald Trump in November win the election in November?
I think, as Dan said, that's very, very difficult. He has historically high negative ratings, 65%, compared to Hillary's 56%. Republicans are basically getting a choice between Hillary Clinton and a former funder of Hillary Clinton. And I think, Jason, you may give him too much credit. Donald Trump said this week, it's not about the party, it's about me, indicating this is a cult of personality. He waffles on every major issue, whether it's the minimum wage, whether it's tariffs against China, whether it's building the wall. I think Americans are going to look at Donald Trump and say, is he going to be good for my prosperity? And so far, the answer is no. And will he keep us safe? And again, so far, the answer to that is also no.
Okay, let me chuck my 2 cents worth in here. Donald Trump will argue, if you don't vote for me, Hillary's the president, and I'm the guy who's brought millions of people into this party. Vote for me. The Republican Party will say, okay, Donald, but you need our money. You need $1 billion. Come closer to us. Maybe we'll come closer to you. In the end, a deal, a unity deal. Am I crazy, Dan Henninger?
Oh, I don't think you're entirely crazy at all. I mean, he does need their money. You need a lot of money to run $1 billion, and he's not going to put up $1 billion of his own money. I would just like to make one point about this election, which is that Trump and Bernie Sanders have proven to me, at least, that for a lot of voters, these discrete issues that Mary is just talking about don't matter that much anymore, as much as we don't like to believe that. They either want to make America great, or on Bernie's side, it's about income inequality. That's all they need to know. For Trump, the question is, how much of that percentage, the 80% who haven't voted yet, are being driven by pure emotion, which has been the content of his campaign so far, or how many people out there want to hear the message that Mary's talking about? That's what we're going to find out in the next 6 months.
I do want to address the down ballot votes, because they're very, very important. Is anyone here saying that Trump simply cannot carry those down ballot votes? Anybody? You can't,
No,
you can't carry it?
no. If Trump is the Republican nominee, there will be big losses in the House. Maybe the Republicans will hold it, but there'll be big losses, and I don't think they'll hold the Senate.
Mary?
I agree with that, and I think the Paul Ryan comments this week gave some room to down ballot for Republicans who don't agree with Trump to distance themselves with the permission of the House Speaker.
You're a bit more optimistic about these down ballot votes.
No, I'm not. I think that the Republican majorities will be in trouble, and of course that means that picking Supreme Court nominees in terms of Republicans will be in trouble as well. So
all right, I think we've dealt with Donald Trump in the A block successfully. Thanks very much.